What's up guys, welcome back to the Run with J channel. So in today's video we have a special shoe showdown between two behemoths in the racing shoe category. We have the Nike Alphafly Next Percent going up against the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent. So these shoes need no introductions, and we're going to score these shoes between 5 different categories, starting out with design and features, and then cost and value, followed by comfort, and then weight, and then finally performance. So if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications, and let's get started. So the first category we're going to look at is design. So before we begin, I have posted the links to the full reviews for these two shoes down below in the descriptions if you want to check them out. So design is a very subjective category that could be looked in many ways, and if we're strictly looking at the looks of the shoe, a lot of people can have different opinions, so it's very subjective. One person might think this is the best looking shoe ever, while somebody else might think this is the ugliest shoe ever. So besides the looks of the shoe, I'm also going to be looking at the features of the shoe compared to other shoes and the Vaporfly to see how I should score this shoe appropriately. So starting out with the Alphafly, this shoe design to me at least looks very nice. It looks modern, it looks fresh, and it doesn't look like any other shoe out there. It is very unique, and it's filled with tons of features that the other shoes don't have. So starting off, you have the Atom Knit upper, which is steamed and stretched for this great looking material, very breathable. We have also the 15% more ZoomX foam compared to last year's shoe. You've got the carbon fiber plate. You've also got the dual zoom AirPods in the front to give you that return and support. And overall, I think this is a great looking shoe. It's very futuristic looking. I personally like the look of it. It's fresh. It could look a little bit clunky to some people, but if you're gonna stack this much things onto it, it's gonna look a little bit weird in a way. So for me, I think this is a great design. I kind of like the look of it, so I'm going to give this shoe a score of 5 for all of the features it's included, as well as the design for the Alphafly. So the Vaporfly is a great looking shoe as well, and you've probably seen tons of people in starting lineups with these shoes on. So even though it's about a year old, it's still packed with features, and that's not available in a lot of other shoes. So you've got the ZoomX foam, of course, down here, as well as the carbon fiber plate, the lightweight vapor weave material, which is very water resistant, the asymmetrical laces, as well as the Achilles padding in the back. So this shoe, the electric green, was the original colorway that it was released in. It still looks fast, still looks dangerous and menacing. So overall, I would give this shoe a score of 4.5 simply because the Alphafly edges this shoe out with slightly more benefits and features such as the Zoom AirPods, the extra ZoomX foam, the laces, as well as the Atom Knit material. So nothing to take away from this shoe at all. 4.5, still a great score, and this shoe is still very good in terms of design and features. So the next category we're going to look at is cost and value. So in terms of cost, the Alphafly is a very expensive shoe that costs about $275, so about $300 after tax. And if you think about it, you can get a ton of things with $300, right? Like a new television or even a Sony PlayStation 4. So this shoe is very expensive compared to other racing shoes out there. To Nike, they justify it being that this shoe is the top of the line for racing shoes with a ton of the features and technology that they've packed into it. Not to regular consumers, most people can't really justify paying $300 for a racing sneaker. So to me, I would give this shoe a score of a 2 simply because I think it's just too expensive for a running shoe, although some people might justify the cost because for paying for a premium shoe because this is the best of the best, but I still think the price is a little bit too expensive for your average consumer. So a score of 2 for the Alphafly Next Percent in cost. So the Vaporfly Next Percent is not cheap as well. It cost $250 when it was released, and it still costs that much. And people are buying this thing, within the hour when it's released. So the shoe is still very popular, and it's still hard to get. You know, similar to the Alphafly, this shoe at the time was the best of the best, the lightest and fastest racing shoe worn by all of the elites, people breaking records and all that. So this shoe is definitely, you know, it's got a name, a reputation, and people wanted to have the shoe banned even. So, you know, overall this shoe is also very expensive to me. I feel like the price is a little bit too high for a racing flat. You know, some people might disagree, saying because the shoe has all these features, it should be, you know, it should cost that much. But I can remember back in the days, a racing shoe cost over $200. But, you know, with everything now, there's no limits. So I will give this shoe, however, a score of a 2.5 simply because it's about $25 less than the Alphafly Next Percent. So after 2 rounds, the score is a dead heat between the Alphafly and the Vaporfly. I had an anticipation that this was going to be happening because both of these shoes are great. So the next round we're going to look at is comfort. So in terms of comfort, the Alphafly is probably one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever tried on. It's got so much foam on this shoe, and when you put your foot in right away, you feel the difference. That it's like unlike any other shoe. There's just so much cushion and support and energy return in this shoe that's pretty unbelievable. Nike, you know, did say this shoe is meant for long distance racing, and it's supposed to give you the max energy return possible while keeping your legs fresh. And I'm sure this shoe will definitely do that. You know, if you're using it for a full marathon. So comfort-wise, this shoe is super comfortable. The upper is very breathable and comfortable as well. And they took out the detached tongue in the Vaporfly, so now it's a one piece, and when you put your foot in, it just hugs around your ankles, and you know, you feel great. And the serrated laces ties your foot in, and there's no pain up there, and you'll keep your laces from being untied as well with those design. So overall, this shoe is probably one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. So for the comfort category, I would give this shoe a score of a 5. So the Vaporfly is a very comfortable shoe as well. You know, it's pretty much got everything the Alphafly has, maybe with less foam and the Zoom AirPods. Got the ZoomX foam, the carbon fiber plate, the lightweight vapor weave upper on top, and the Achilles padding and the asymmetrical laces. So it's pretty much got everything, and it's fast, it's lightweight. So comfort wise, this shoe is also very comfortable. So I'm going to give this shoe a score of 4.5 simply because the Alphafly is a little bit more comfortable because of the Zoom AirPods and the extra ZoomX foam. But this is no slouch, and it is super comfortable and fast as well. So after 3 rounds, the score is still super close, with the Alphafly just pulling ahead by 0.5 of a point with a total score of 12 to 11.5. We still have a couple rounds to go, so it's still anybody's game. So the next category we're going to look at is weight. So in terms of weight, the Alphafly Next Percent weighs at about 7.4 ounces, which is very respectable for a racing shoe. And a lot of the premium racing shoes out there weigh about the same, similar to the Endorphin Pro, which weighs at about 7.6 ounces. That is also a very good racing shoe and very comparable to actually the Vaporfly Next Percent. So this shoe is very light, 7.4 ounces, not heavy at all. It weighs almost similar to a Pegasus Turbo 2, however it's got more features than the shoe. The Pegasus Turbo 2 has React Foam and ZoomX, however this shoe has, I'm sure, a lot more ZoomX than the Pegasus Turbo 2, as well as the Zoom AirPods, and it's also got a lighter upper with better laces and Achilles padding in the back. So Nike incredibly was able to pack all those features into this shoe and still make it lighter than the Pegasus Turbo. So having said that, I would give the Alphafly Next Percent a score of 4.5 simply because the shoe is not the lightest racing shoe out there. However, 4.5 is still a pretty good score, I believe, for a racing shoe in terms of weight. This shoe is light, and you know, besides being a little bit heavier than last year, this shoe gives you much more energy return with all of the foam and extra features that this shoe has right now in this year's model. So the Vaporfly is a little bit lighter than the Alphafly, coming in at about an ounce lighter for 6.5 ounces for a size 9, which is what I am. So that is super light for a racing shoe. I think that's probably the lightest racing shoe out there right now. At the time, this was the fastest and the lightest shoe available, so everybody still was looking for it, and it was sold out for a while. So in terms of weight, this shoe is probably at the top of the rankings for that. So at 6.5 ounces for a shoe with a lot of energy return, it's very hard to beat. So I'm going to give the Vaporfly Next Percent a score of a 5 for overall weight. So after 4 rounds, we have a dead heat again with the Alphafly and the Vaporfly tied at 16.5 points. So this is going to go to the wire. So the last round to decide it all will be performance. So in terms of performance, the Alphafly is definitely a shoe that will perform. It's been tried, and used by athletes and elites all over the world. You've seen Kipchoge set a 2-hour, marathon record, although it's not the exact same model as this, but this is, based off of that. Every single elite wants to have this shoe and use it. Other brands are starting to catch up to the Nike, Vaporfly or racing shoes, but they still have a little bit to go. The Endorphin Pro probably is the closest one that I've tried that, comes close to the Vaporfly. So this shoe will perform. It'll make you go fast for a longer period of time, and your legs will get less tired compared to, wearing other shoes. This thing's got so much foam and padding that, it's going to be your legs will thank you when you're running in a marathon, and you'll be able to keep up and run faster in these things. So performance wise, this shoe will definitely perform, and this shoe just is just something else. If you have an opportunity to run in these, this thing feels like no other shoe. It's just like even with the super high stack height, it just feels so comfortable and amazing, and it feels like you can go on running forever. So performance wise, this shoe is great. It's going to be good for a long distance, like full marathon length. You can wear it for shorter distances as well, but you won't be able to fully take advantage of all of the foam and features as this shoe is packed in to help with your legs and the fatigue for running in longer distances. So overall, I would give this shoe a score of a 5 for performance. So the Vaporfly is pretty well known, and the shoe will definitely perform as well. Many people that have tried on this shoe have said that they have gone a little bit faster in their race time compared to usual. So this shoe definitely will perform. It's although it doesn't have all the features as the Alphafly does, this shoe will make you go fast, and you'll be able to set records that the Alphafly might not. So in my personal opinion, I think the Vaporfly is your shoe for going fast and setting records. So anything from shorter races like the 5K to half marathon range would be great for this shoe, and the Alphaflies will be good for full marathons and so forth. So this is the shoe that doesn't have any of the newer bells and whistles like the AirPods or the extra ZoomX foam and things like that. This shoe is just made to go fast, and it's lightweight. It doesn't have all the other unnecessary things that you need in a racing shoe. It is just lightweight, it's fast, and it'll get you your records that you're seeking. So in terms of performance, this shoe definitely performs at the top of any racing shoe out there, and it's probably the lightest shoe available also right now in terms of a racing. So for the score performance, I give the Vaporfly a max score of 5 as well. So the scores are in, and we have a result. So after 5 grueling categories of close-knit scoring, the winner for the Titan Behemoth Racing Shoe Showdown is a tie between the Alphafly and the Vaporfly. So both of these shoes ended up with a score of 21.5 in a tie. So I kind of anticipated this was going to happen. If in any two shoes, it would be these two. So both of these shoes are a joy to have for anybody's shoe collection for racing. They both will perform, and they both are great and amazing shoes. If you have an opportunity to get both of them, that is great. I feel like, in my personal opinion, the Vaporfly Next Percent is going to be good for records, for shorter races, and to run fast, and if you need that. And the Alphafly will be something that you'll use for full marathons and longer races. So that's going to be your max cushion and comfort shoe, and the Vaporfly will be your max speed and lightweight shoe. So both of these shoes are great. They serve different purposes, in my opinion, and they're a treat to have in anybody's shoe collection. So I had a great time doing this review for both of these shoes. They're both I feel like dead even. They're both great, and it's hard to say which one is better in my opinion. They're both made to break records. They're both made to, you know, push the boundaries, so how fast you can run, and they're both made to make your running easier, so you can run faster without too much work. So we end up for the first time a tie in the shoe showdown. So thank you guys for watching this video. I had a fun time doing the shoe showdown for these two Titan racing shoes. So if you guys have any other comments, feedback, or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I hope you guys are staying safe and your training is going well. And I'll see you guys on the next shoe showdown.